Openness, not so coincidentally, we begin our school year with openness and being open to all of the students, all of the teachers, open to everyone that's around us here in our school building. And here in Staten Island, we begin school in September, and it's how we begin our school year. I know my last name is Martuccio. Twice today, I received emails to Mr. Martucci. And at this point, I'm oblivious to it. It really doesn't bother me, or maybe it does, because I did remember that it happened twice just today. And so we begin the school year with an openness to all of the 21 different languages that make up our learning community. And that's just from the student and family body. If I'm being honest, there have been times as the principal of the school in June where we call on kindergarten or fifth graders to recognize them with their accomplishments, and we said their names incorrectly. So we make an effort to make sure that we're saying everyone's name correctly. We're engaging families, because part of the first week's homework assignment is to go home and ask your caregiver where your name comes from. Why was that name chosen for you? And when students come back and share those stories during our time where we're quite purposefully implementing these habits of mind, habits of heart, students find their voice that we want them to have in their learning and while they advocate for themselves. What I found and what I've learned over the past 14 years is that rather than hoping during the school year, students feel comfortable to take ownership of their learning and then shuddering on the stage, quite literally, when we get their name wrong. We make sure that we invite them to the table and celebrate their name and celebrate their heritage and culture based on wherever it is their name comes from. There is much less wishing and hoping in terms of student and family voice, when the first thing you want to know about them is about them. And so, it is part of a bigger picture. That's how we begin the year with openness, and it happened to be the question. But we have a habit of mind, habit of heart for each month. Our instructional leadership team spent time with that the last 2 months of the previous school year. Yes, perseverance is one of them, and yes, it lives inside of the math standards. As of the recording of this video, we're very close to Thanksgiving, and we've really been talking about what it means, feels like. What are you thinking? What are you saying? What are you doing when you're grateful? And so really empowering students to experiment with that. One last anecdote, I was in a classroom last week where they were modeling what grateful didn't look like. And I just love the learning from a school with more than 20% of our population having an individualized education plan. More than 20% of our population are English language learners. All of this learning about ourselves and about these words and about these non-examples really change and help the student experience. And that's what we're trying to improve upon each and every year.